Hi, this is psychic medium Frank Maris answering your questions about the supernatural. Derek wrote to me on Quora.com asking, do spiritually enlightened people ever suffer from losing a loved one? Well, that's an insightful question. For me personally, I do experience heartfelt grief, but it's partially subdued by knowing that the loved one's consciousness still exists. It also helps by still being able to communicate with the deceased. But trust me, it still hurts. We all come down to earth to feel emotions, and being enlightened does not get you off the hook. In my case, my grief may be heightened in a way. I'll give you an example. This is Tara, one of my soulmates and my significant other for about a year. Tara touched my heart in a way that no other woman had done in my life. Unfortunately, she was so scarred by earlier traumatic events in her life that we could not continue as a couple. Although we ended our romantic relationship in February, we stayed in touch and were friends. She unexpectedly died of natural causes in May. When her oldest daughter called to inform me of her death, I immediately felt loss and grief. I wanted to know what happened to Tara, so I went into meditation to contact her. I found her spirit in the place of peace she used to go to in meditation, a beautiful forest sitting beside a tranquil stream. She assured me that she was doing great, and that as life had become too painful for her, her soul had cut it short. Her reassurance did make me feel better, but I was still on Earth, in my home. Tara had lived with me for a number of months, and there remained traces of her efforts and work throughout my home. When I would find a frozen meal that she cooked, or I would walk into a room that she helped decorate, tears would immediately come to my eyes. But maybe there was an additional reason why I felt my loss and sadness. Tara was a very talented psychic, and she revealed details about 4 past lives that we lived together. They all had a common theme. In the first of 2 Roman lives, I was the future senator, Marcus Octavius. As a young, swaggering patrician, I met her in a marketplace, and an illicit love affair started between us. She was the pretty younger wife of an older, wealthy man. Tara recounted visions of me sneaking into her house to make love to her, and almost being caught when her husband arrived sooner than expected. I was the secret father of her child, but her husband never knew otherwise. In another Roman life, Tara was my wife, and we had 2 children together. Psychic Tara uncovered an amazing story where I was ordered to report to Caesar, who sent me to Syria to be a commander of a Roman legion. Unfortunately, while on campaign, I was assassinated by my junior officers and never came home to her. In the 1700s, I was a common soldier named Robert in the Prussian army. She was a tavern girl named Eileen. Just like in the Roman lives, I impregnated her, and then she became my woman. Once with child, she was totally reliant upon me for her support. Napoleon's forces attacked the town that I was stationed at, and although Eileen begged me not to go, I had to. After the battle, she found my lifeless body in a trench. She had to bury me with our baby strapped to her back. The last past life she told of was in 1850s Boston. I was a prominent attorney. She was a young indentured servant named Annalisa that I brought over from England to help take care of my bedridden wife. Shortly after she moved into my house, I would visit her attic bedroom, and we had an affair. After my wife died, I fathered 2 children with her, but I would never publicly acknowledge our relationship because of our class differences. Ironically, in each of these 4 past lives, her eldest daughter in this current time was our child in those past lives. In a very real sense, I left Tara in a lurch in each of those past lives. In this life, she was the one who left first. It's only conjecture, but do I feel her loss more intensely because of our soul connection over the centuries? If so, one can say that being enlightened can sometimes increase your grief. It's something to consider.